Much another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday, early-ish afternoon. I hope you're well. Hope the day's treating you well. You're looking after yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing, obviously today, enjoy it. Make the most of it. If it's work, you're not far off the weekend. If it's a bad day, there's always tomorrow, I promise. In this video, we're doing a little bit of a loan roundup of all the guys out on loan. We've got a bit of an update on potentially a Genoa move for Djed Spence and what they are thinking about when it comes to a deal on that front. So you'll see what I mean when I talk about it. So plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. Just want to say, if you're new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And I have obviously previously uploaded today. It's a series that I will be doing on the channel on a FIFA career mode on Spurs. I'll probably try and upload most mornings. So something a little bit more casual, a little bit more relaxed. A little bit away from chance for talk and news like that. So if that's your cup of tea, by all means, go back and have a little watch. Let me know what you think. Let me know anything that I could probably do to make my career mode run a bit easier. All right. But anyway, let's talk the boys out on loan, because that's what you're here for, isn't it? You're not here for me to talk about myself and career mode, are you? And yeah, well, we got some really good news. We got some so-so news, and we got some annoying news. So I'm going to start with annoying first, because I think you will start worse and go on your way on. So to give you an update, Alejo Veliz was a unused sub in the 2-1 victory for Sevilla at home to Mallorca. Mallorca scored in the 95th minute, so 2-0 for the majority of that game. Tanguy Ndombele was an unused sub for Galatasaray, so, again, not going to be talking much about him. Ashley Phillips as well, another unused sub as well for Plymouth. Bit of a weird one. Potentially one of Plymouth's worst performances of the season. I will talk about Alfie Devine in a second. So bit of a shameful one. Not shameful on his part, but just a shame in general. Troy Parrott obviously misses the game. He was suspended after his red card in the last game. Just to give you the update on that, it was brought down to a single match ban. So he'll be back for the next one, which is obviously nice. I want to talk about Troy, because he had a great game last time out. I want to talk about it a bit more. So yeah, a little bit of the annoying news to start. I want to start with the so-so news, and I will start with Alfie Devine. So yeah, Plymouth lost 3-0 away to Stoke City. Stoke played quite well. Plymouth, like I said, one of their worst performances. He came off the bench for Plymouth. No one played well. Nobody played well for Plymouth, but what they did say was he was one of the better parts of the team, but he did get booked for diving, which somewhat harsh. There was some contact, but hey, it is what it is. Josh Keeley out at Barnet. They won 4-1 at home to Kidderminster. They go into the National League playoffs this weekend. I believe they play Solihull Moors, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but I believe they do, because they're supposed to play Gateshead, but they've been kicked out of the playoffs. I don't really know or understand it enough to kind of give you enough information on that, okay? Matthew Craig out at Doncaster Rovers. They had a good win, 4-2 win against Barrow. They came for 2-0 down, which obviously big win at this stage of the season with playoffs on the loom. They are now level with 7th placed Crawley Town with a game in hand. So huge turnaround from Doncaster. Like I said in the previous week when I did this roundup, Doncaster have had one of the most incredible stories for the last few months, from being a team tipped for relegation to being a team that, well, they are on the cusp of playoffs. And Matthew Craig's had a really good spell at the League Two side. So go on, Matthew. Moving into, I'm going to talk about Joe Rodon next, because actually for the first time in a little while, Leeds didn't have a great weekend, and Joe's got to hold his hat on this one. So they played on Monday, and they did win. So let's put that into a caveat here. They won 4-3 away to Middlesbrough. It was a high scoring game, but 33% possession for Leeds. Created less chances, had a third of the corners. Didn't have a sending off or anything, so it was quite a weird one, if I'm honest, because Leeds aren't renowned for conceding goals. I mean, before this, they'd played 43 games, and they conceded 34 times. So you can tell, good defensive solid outfit. But yeah, this one with Borough before this, they'd played 43 games and they'd scored 61 goals. Good scoring team, but you wouldn't expect them to put 3 against Leeds. So, look, they won, and at this stage of the season, that's the important thing. When I'm looking at the Championship League table at the moment. Leicester won obviously 5-0 against Southampton last night, which kind of moved Southampton all but solidly into the playoff spot. Obviously, can get third in the playoffs, but realistically, it looks like they're going to be fourth, playing 5th, which looks like it'll be either West Brom and Norwich City. Leeds now moved back into 2nd place, having played a game more than Ipswich, and they're a point clear of Ipswich with a 11 plus goal difference better than Ipswich, and 4 points behind top of being Leicester City, and Leicester have a 4 goal difference better than them. So look, massive win, and at this stage of the season, it doesn't matter how you get them, just get them. So we'll call it a so-so performance. Right, I want to move into the big boys. I want to move into the lads that absolutely fried it this week, and they deserve the shout out. And I'm going to start with the man in Millwall, Japhet Tanganga. He played his 15th 90 minutes of 16 games possible this season for them. They picked up a clean sheet as well with a 1-0 victory at Sunderland, which... just looking at the league table, Sunderland sit 13th and Millwall now sit 16th. Millwall now are 7 points clear of relegation, so they are safe for the season, which that's a brilliant really outcome for Millwall. They can be on for mid-table still, which that would be a hell of a turnaround if they get mid-table. He's had a massive part. They won 3 in a row, a clean sheet, 1-0. Japhet Tanganga's had a brilliant loan spell. He's played just short of 1,400 minutes. You can tell he's been so crucial to their campaign staying up. So that's going to help us leading into the summer if we want to sell him. The more that he does things like this and keeps clean sheets and keeps a team up that might have been relegated, the more money we're going to get. So happy days on that. Moving over to Mr. Reguilon out at Brentford. 5-1 win at Luton at the weekend. It was one of those weekends that was just goals, and Spurs weren't playing. 5-1 win. Had an assist as well, so that's another assist to add to the total. We had obviously 2 at Villa. It's another one to add here. Again, he's a guy that the more he plays well, which he has had a decent loan spell at Brentford, the more money we're going to get, and then it'll add that to the coffers for the summer, which I'm never going to complain about. Will Brentford pick him up? It's supposedly so that the wages are going to be too much. He'd have to take a bit of a pay cut, if I'm honest, which I, by the way, never believe any player should take a pay cut if they don't want to. It's your career. I wouldn't want to take a pay cut at work. He wants a big move. He wants a Champions League side move. I don't think he's going to be playing himself into a Champions League side unless it's, out in a less of a top 5 league. But, there is no reason why he wouldn't be able to get like the 4th, 5th, 6th team in Spain to get him, or someone in the Bundesliga maybe. But good game for him. And I believe that is oh no, I've got one more. Mr. Djed Spence. I forgot about Mr. Djed Spence. Had a good game last time out. Oh, here it is. Last time out, he did play the full 90 minutes away. He had a full 90 minutes against Lazio in a 1-0 defeat on Friday night, and then playing half an hour from the bench on the draw, 1-1 draw against Fiorentina. Obviously, had only played. There's not much time difference in terms of days for recovery, so there's not a big issue there. I mean, he played 120 minutes within the 2 games, so that's not too bad. He did actually play right wing back in the 90-minute game, the defeat to Lazio. So that's at least something, because he's been playing a lot of left wing back. Supposedly so that he wasn't at fault for the goal to Luis Alberto against Lazio, which is good. Getting on the ball a lot, creating a lot. He was busy apparently, and they said that he was one of their best players of the game. He's played more than he had at Leeds, which is at least something, because Leeds, I thought that Leeds move was going to be great. I really, really did. I was thinking he's going to be fantastic. Leeds going to be a good team. You got Joe Rodon there. You've got some great players there. But obviously, it didn't work out for whatever reason. I mean, Leeds played Sam Byram at right back, and he's had. I think Archie Graves played there a little bit this season. He was good enough to play for them, but for some reason, Daniel Farke wasn't Farke, not the swear word. It wasn't his cup of tea. So it is what it is. These things do happen. Right, I want to talk about Djed Spence with Genoa. And by the way, let me know your thoughts and feelings about the guys out on loan, by the way. All right. Anyway, let's talk Djed Spence. So it came from Calcio Mercato, who have said Spurs and Genoa have talks planned to discuss multiple transfers. Genoa have the option to sign Djed Spence permanently for €10 million, but the wingback could be used as a bargaining chip in a bigger €35 million deal for Albert Gudmundsson. Now, look, I have talked about Gudmundsson somewhat a fair amount on this channel. He isn't my first choice, and that's fair to say. He might be yours, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's not mine purely because of the other players that we've been linked to. The Nico Williams. We've been linked to Ebericha Eze. We've been linked to Ivan Toney, Dominic Solanke, Santiago Jimenez. We've been linked to so many players. He's not in my top 3. He might not even be in my top 5 for an attacker. And yes, we're in for a striker this summer. We know that. We may be in for a winger. We don't know. But I think if we were to wind up with this summer, coming out of it and going, we've got Albert Gudmundsson as our attacker. When you talk about grades, we talk about grades in terms of how you've done. A being you've smashed the tests. F being you failed. It'd be like a C minus. It just doesn't fill me with excitement. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. And I always talked about how players have high upsides with sort of low floors in terms of, your Antonio Nooses and your Bargies and stuff like that. Somewhat who he's exciting, hence why his upside's there. But obviously he's so unproven that his floor is obviously going to be quite low. With Albert Gudmundsson, his floor is a lot higher because he's been in the top 5 league. You kind of know what you're going to get from him. But I don't think his ceiling is anything near as high as some of the players we've been linked to. I think it's a lot lower. I think what you see is what you're going to get. Will he improve a little bit? Potentially. But I don't see it being enough to warrant us saying, that's our marquee attacker. Because if that's the marquee attacker, I think you'll lose fans in the fan base. I genuinely do. But we shall see. Anyway, guys, end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comment section your thoughts and feelings about the guys out on loan, good, bad, or ugly. Obviously, your thoughts and feelings about a potential swap deal, including Djed Spence and Albert Gudmundsson. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. Anyway, guys, end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.